Good afternoon. This is 12:39 here in Detroit. Oh man, ran across a disturbing video that some middle school students here are dealing with here in a place called Marysville, Michigan. And of all things, the students should not have to deal with is racial issues in a learning environment. Now, this school is called Marysville Middle School, and you can tell by the name about where the location is. That is not a Detroit area school. But apparently the students there that are African American background, mixed race, that are still African American, are dealing with some racial issues from some of the students there. And there was a comment made that one of the parents came up there with a weapon, talking about he was going to kill all the black students. This is unacceptable here in this state of Michigan. And it was a very disturbing news story to see. And I'm thinking back on my school days, even though I went to school here around in the city of Detroit. I'm thinking back during my school days, did I have to deal with anything? Although I'm in Detroit, and Detroit is a predominantly black city. But that brings me to a point. Now, you're out there in Marysville. These students are frightened. The parents of these students, one lady was drawn to tears because it's hurtful to have to go to school and deal with somebody calling you racial slurs, nigger, and all that, making comments that they don't want you there in Marysville, Michigan. And this shouldn't be going on in the school system. They're talking about investigating. You need to take immediate action. You need to identify these students that are in the school system in Marysville Middle School. These are middle school kids doing this. So what makes me wonder, what is being discussed in the home of these kids that are bringing that to the damn school? What were your parents talking about? Are you sitting around the table talking about blacks? This KKK shit? Don't nobody want to hear shit about the goddamn KKK? The KKK is done. Don't nobody want to hear shit about that. Don't nobody want to hear no racial slurs. You treat people with respect. Now you done brought this shit over into the school. Here at Marysville Middle School in Marysville, Michigan. And as a truck driver, I've traveled all over the United States. I've been in areas where you can tell white folks look at you strange when blacks come through there. I don't give a damn. We here. I'm coming through your city. If I was still trucking, I could be coming to a town near you. I'm coming through your shit. Because I don't play that shit. You got all kind of types of races, different races on this planet. You treat people with respect. When you're kid, babies don't know shit about this racist bullshit. It is a learned behavior. And 9 times out of 10, the behavior is being learned by somebody around. It's usually the parent, someone in the household. Now, when you are an adult, blacks were subject to it because of, the slavery shit. Slavery has ended. Don't nobody want to hear that racial slur shit. This white supremacy shit. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Yes, it's areas located throughout Michigan, United States, that's predominantly white. Just like there's areas that's predominantly black. There's nothing wrong with that. But when a black comes to your town and you start talking racial shit, we have a problem with that. Just because you have your little area where you congregate at, have your own little school system, that is not the place for you to be. Just because black students are in your school, you don't want them there? What are you invading your space? What are you doing? You were middle school students in there talking racial shit to your classmates. Why? Who's telling you to do this? Why are you doing this? What the hell is going on in the home? The reason why these students are coming up to the school talking that shit in 2023. This year's almost over with. And you're in the school system with this shit. These students don't want to go to school. They're afraid. They said this shit is escalated. I don't like this shit. I don't tolerate that shit. Because as a driver, you like to come around me with that shit. And I get you corrected quick. I don't play that shit. That white supremacy shit. Acting like you better than everybody and shit. Want to downgrade me because I'm black and shit. I don't play that bullshit. You treat people with respect. Kids ain't got no business spreading racial shit throughout the school system. If that shit is in your home, you better keep it in your goddamn home. Better not now racial slur come out your goddamn mouth in the school system. And that school system needs to clean that system up. You need to identify these students that's up in there causing this problem, spreading this racial slur shit, calling black students niggas and all that shit. Niggas? Where did you learn that word from? Who told you that word to be going up to the school? Who in your household is calling blacks niggas? Is this what Marysville's Michigan about? You a bunch of racist white folks up there trying to spread your hatred through the school now? A lot of these students I've seen on there that was complaining about this shit were mixed race. One of the parents is white, one is black. But they're African American. Two of the students I've seen in this news report were mixed race. I don't care what race she is. You're a kid. Kids ain't got no business dealing with adult shit. That racial shit, that shit adults deal with. Blacks deal with. Going around white folks. White folks trying to assert their being assertive with their authority by trying to degrade blacks by calling them racial slurs and all this other shit. Call yourself keeping us in our place. Slavery is ended. Blacks has contributed a lot here that have been stolen by white folks. But now you bring this bullshit into the school. You got your kids spreading your shit in the school system. How dare you? In 2023, we're seeing a story right before Thanksgiving of students that are fed up. The parents are fed up. Their kids is hurt because they going to school dealing with other white students calling them niggas. Niggas. Let me give you an example. That Detroit is a prominently black city. White folks have moved down here because you're buying all these expensive apartments. Let's give you an example of what your kids are doing up in the school to black kids. What if, but Detroit is a predominantly black city. What if, when the whites are down here, blacks started treating you like, hey, we don't want you here. Get out of here, whitey. Started calling you cracker. All this other bullshit. Doing shit to you to let you know they don't want you. We don't want you here. In Detroit, a predominantly black city. That's the same thing these students of these parents in Marysville are doing in the school system. What are you doing? You want the blacks to move out of Marysville? You want them out your school? Blacks is everywhere. You get on the highway. Your parents take you on a road trip. You look in the next car, there's a black. You can't get rid of us. We everywhere. whether you like it or not. That behavior you've learned, you better unlearn it before you become an adult. Because let me tell you something. Right now you a kid in the school trying this little bullshit. But when you become an adult and a racist coming around blacks doing that shit, not gonna go over well for you. So I suggest you change your mentality. You watch what the fuck you say, and you treat people with respect. You white, these students are African American descent. You probably got other races in that school. Is you calling out other races? Or is you just going around calling black folks niggers? Bringing up that K. Wait a minute. Is KKK in Marysville? Did we miss a spot? The Michigan of KKK? You still talking KKK? Y'all got sheets? Give them to me. I'm going to make my bed with y'all shit. I don't play that racial shit. I go out of your areas. I've had people as a truck driver. I've been in their areas. I see how you act when I come around. Oh, I get that vibe from you. But you better not say shit. Because I'm telling you, I don't play that bullshit. I don't play that racial shit. You treat people with respect and you get respect back. Because let me tell your ass, your white ass, because you ain't going to go through life without coming around somebody that's an African American. You may need an African American to assist you with something. Get this. One of those African American students, after you get grown, may be in a position where you have to come to them. Oh, and they're going to remember you called them a nigger when they was in school. Watch yourself. That racial shit, you better watch it. I don't care what you think about people. Adults deal with that shit. These are the adult issues. These are kids. These are middle school kids. Up and they're afraid to go to school. They're scared now because they said one of the parents came up there with a weapon. With a weapon? If they saw this parent with a weapon, why wasn't the police called? What the fuck is going on in fucking Marysville, Michigan? You better get that shit cleaned up. Because this shit makes absolutely no damn sense. This shit is in a middle school. This not even high school shit. This is middle school doing this shit. What the fuck going on in y'all homes? You still talking racial shit, niggas. Like I said, what if I just gave you a scenario. Detroit is a predominantly black city. Whites moving down here, buying out, living in these expensive apartments, spreading your money around. What if the blacks in Detroit say, hey, we don't want you here? Started acting like that. You're coming in the stores with blacks and they started treating you the way your white students treat those blacks up in Marysville. How would you like that? That's a scenario. See, this is what takes place in adult life. This is what adults deal with. This is what African Americans deal with every day as an adult with certain white folks around here. Want to assert your white supremacy. You want to get in a little racial slur, racial joke every now and then. They've been in my car talking that racial shit. Talking racial jokes and shit. Yeah, I listen to the shit. Your ass almost got put out. I don't play that shit. Had a white guy come around me yesterday want to call me man. I don't play that shit. You know what I told him? I said, oh, so what you telling me? You go around calling women men? No, it's a habit. He didn't look. Oh, what you mean you didn't look? Where do you see a man at? I'm not no man. You're not going to disrespect me. I don't play that racial shit. I don't give a fuck about the KKK. If y'all still exist, you better keep that shit very, very, very quiet. Keep that shit very, very fucking hid. Because I'm telling you, Don't nobody play that shit around here. Marysville better get that shit cleaned up. I don't know how many blacks up there. But if I was in that school system, I guarantee you I wouldn't be tolerating that shit. You ain't gonna be coming around there calling me shit. But my motherfucking name. And that's Juanita, bitch. Fuck that. Clean that goddamn school system up. That's the horriblest story I just ever seen. Kids sitting up here dealing with being called niggers. They can't help the way they were born. They mixed race. But they black. They're in the school. They're there to learn. And what are you teaching them? You teaching them racial shit. Because this shit coming from the home. You need to clean Marysville. Sound like Marysville need to be cleaned up. And you need to do that shit immediately. This shit can't be tolerated around here. This is embarrassing. In Michigan, identifying sections in Michigan, they're still this trying to assert they superiority toward certain races. You're trying to scare them out the school system. Now, why? Haven't you done enough to African Americans? Haven't you done enough to African Americans? White people, haven't you done enough to African Americans? This is 2023. Your history with us is terrible. You owned people. You bought and sold African Americans, stole them, killed them, did a horrible thing to us. And you got certain areas still here in Michigan teaching that bullshit, taking it to the school, trying to run the blacks out to school because you don't want them in the area. You better get control of that shit up there, Marysville. This shit is unacceptable here in fucking Michigan. You treat people with respect. You teach your kids to treat people with respect. I don't give a damn what race is before you. You treat them with motherfucking respect.